Good morning, everyone. We're starting right now, and I have the opportunity of welcoming you. My name is Samuel Iyitayo. I'm the American Spaces Specialist for the country, and it's a privilege for me to anchor today's event. Today, we have gone very far to bring to you something that we believe will benefit all of you. We are looking at a very important topic, growing a personal business from scratch to profit. Personal as in personal, and now we're looking at from scratch. From the way we advertised this session, we said that got a brilliant idea and eager to turn it into real profit. Join our monthly employability webinar with Prince Okulaja Omoleye, the CEO of Dove Group of Companies, and learn exactly how to build, scale, and sustain a thriving business, even in a challenging environment like Nigeria. So I will want Miss Josephine, to please read to us the biography of our resource person today. Over to you, Josephine.
Thank you very much, sir. Good morning, everyone. Prince Okulaja Omoleye is a visionary entrepreneur and transformative leader whose strategic foresight and unwavering commitment to excellence have shaped the Dove Group of companies into a Pan-African powerhouse. As founder, chairman, and CEO, he has guided PE Lifts, Boldworks, Nigeria Mechanization Partners, and several other subsidiaries to prominence by marrying cutting-edge technology with practical, market-driven solutions. Under his leadership, PE Lifts has become synonymous with reliability and style in elevator manufacturing, while Boldworks and Boldtech have set new standards in facility management services across West Africa. Armed with a degree in electrical engineering and sharpened by both formal and informal studies in strategic planning and leadership, Prince Okulaja approaches each challenge with analytical rigor and creative problem solving. At the heart of Prince Okulaja's personality lies a deep spiritual conviction, guided by his mantra, "In God and I trust." In all things, Prince Okulaja embodies a rare blend of technical expertise, strategic vision, and art compassion. His personal philosophy, anchored in innovation, integrity, and faith, continues to inspire those around him and cement his reputation as a forward-thinking leader committed to creating lasting, positive change across Africa. Kindly join us this morning as we welcome Prince Okulaja Omoleye to take our session on employability webinar. Good morning and welcome, sir.
Can we all put our hands together for Prince Okulaja? Once again, Prince Okulaja, we are so excited to have you on our program. And what we do here is that we engage young people like you in discussing any area that will encourage people in employability. So first and foremost, we would like you to please share with us a story behind probably how you started your own business, or just tell us where you started from and then where you are right now. And then tell us a little bit about the topic you're about to discuss, and then we'll begin to interact with you. Over to you now.
Thank you so much, sir. For this honorable opportunity. To speak to young, talented guys like me and youth like me. It's actually a very big privilege and big honor to be here. I really appreciate the opportunity that was being given to me. I really do appreciate. I mean, hi guys. I hope I'm audible. I hope everybody can hear me. For
Yes,
me,
we can
it's
hear you.
really yeah. Thank you, sir. For me, I think it's more like a uh, grace and hard work. We can't take away, God's work in all of this. And I'm just going to, I will try as much as possible to be, to not focus more on, theory part of this conversation, but really motivate and share bullet points in what I think you should do in this process of starting a business and growing a business to where you can start saying, what, there's an income and you can start saving for yourself and start proper expansion and start growing business as it's supposed to be. So I'll try as much as possible to carry the audience along, and I want you guys to really share my story, get to motivate at the same time to leave you with one or two things that you can, if you really do practice in the next few months, you should come back and give testimony of what you've been able to achieve. Me, Prince Okulaja Omoleye, started this journey as early as immediately I left secondary school. And I think one of those things that actually motivate me, even when I left secondary school, I'm one of the most dullest guy in my class. Out of 30, I'll be number 27. so, so it's a challenging thing for me where we are leaving secondary school. It's at that time that probably, they will give you a result based on your what, based on numbers, not now excellent, good and all that. The out of 20, they will rate you where you are, if you are in number one, number two, number three. So it has been a challenging thing for me, always finding myself second to the last, third to the last. And I said to myself after secondary school, trying to get my admission, I have to probably, really focus more on what I think I should do for myself and really see how I can, start life. So immediately I left secondary school, it was a really, how am I going to call it? A thing of challenge, financial constraint, family background. So a lot comes with it that, and I said to myself, you know what? I'm going to work hard and I'm going to push as fast as I'm going to, as much I can push to ensure that, things does not remain the same. As of today, we give glory be to God that one of our company under Dove Group is one of the leading company, not just in Nigeria, not just in Africa. All over the world, and we're trying our best to ensure that there are things that can come out of Africa, good things that can come out of Africa legitly in terms of hard work, in terms of excellent, and that's what we focus on in the last few years. So I'm going to be carrying you guys along on that process of what you need to do and how to start up a business, and starting up a business, the challenges that comes with business, and how you can overcome. And I'm going to be using my story, direct and indirectly, and case study, right, for you guys to probably get along and not focusing on some of those principles and some of those philosophy, because over the years too, I've get to realize that at the beginning of business, people really focus more on this principle, on this philosophy, on this do not do, on what you should do to grow business, and they focus more on it and they lost themselves in within that process, and they don't get to achieve what they are supposed to achieve because they are not themselves. They're focusing on what this person says, what did that person said, what's this person saying concerning growing business, and leaving that these are people are coming from their own personal experience, their lifestyle, their culture, their background is different from your own culture, your background, kind of country you are. It's really totally different. And they put it into books, they put it into tapes for you. And some of these things actually pushing you nearer there, pushing you back and front, and you're not identifying who you are as a person, and you are not, able to really push by yourself and do what you need to do for yourself and to become whatever you need to become. So I'm going to be in as much as possible, stay away from this, what they say, what are they doing, and what you should do. But focusing on how you can identify by yourself what you need to do is very, very important. Not what I'm doing, but what you need to do by yourself, right? To ensure that you scale up your business by yourself and take it to the next level. And one of those things I'm going to be sharing with you guys, is the process of how to really start up a business. And for me, for example, started a business at probably around 2010, 9. That's when I started, my personal business. I started business, and at a point in time, things were not going the way it is. So I have to get a job. And after getting a job, to went back and front and back. And for some of us that we are actually committed to whatever task you give to us. So we'll always stand out in any way you put us, in an office space, in a family space. There's always this standard for us because we are focused in terms of least focused in terms of what we want to achieve and how we want to really achieve what we want to achieve. I got a promotion from a technical department to head of the department, and from there become in the management. This thing at the point in time, the company was not forthcoming. I have to leave the company and join another group of company, I become the facility manager, and I was there for couple of years from a facility manager. I was promoted to be the chairman's personal assistant. Because of my hard work and what I'm doing, and the fact that I can't operate at that level, I have to operate at the management level, giving directions to different departments and rallying the management and what they need to do and how they are supposed to do it. So it's really like I said, a great thing and hard work thing, put together, because you can't put away, God's favor in all of this. And for some of us that we're actually a believer, we believe strongly that, everything you do, you must put God first, and God alone first. Then put your hard work, because, He said in His word that He's going to bless whatever is in your hand. And we believe that whatever is blessing now is only because we have something in our hand that we are doing, and that's why it's actually blessing. So I was there for a couple of years and doing what I'm supposed to do. But at a point in time, there was so much, pressure on me because of how I've, moved to the heights I am in the organization from the risk management team. How is this guy going so fast, and the chairman likes him so much? At a point in time, they gang up and say, what, he did this, he didn't do that. I do that. At the point in time, they come up. I don't want to go into details so that I don't keep you guys so much. I just want to share bullet points on what the process. So you can see that, there's nothing that is good that doesn't have the bad side, and there's nothing that is going to be good that doesn't need hard work. You have to, be committed, be devoted, and stay as such to whatever you really believe in. So they gang up and say to me and say, what, there's some, project I've handled, they need to do audit and, financial audit and all that. And they brought all this also. I have to go on suspension for some few weeks, about 3 or 2 weeks, a week there about. So in less than 2 days, because of my commitment, I reach out to somebody again and say, what is happening in the office? And I think I need to leave this job. I have to move on and just focus on myself, because I put so much, I'm putting so much into this. And he said to me, Prince, that's what you want to do. Go ahead. In less than 2, 3 days, right, I was able to get an opportunity, to go into agriculture, right, and begin agriculture process. I got a job in Oyo State then. It will be slightly to do a clearing of some land and all that. So I have to rally tractors around and move into the site. Upon on the site, the third day on the site, which is about 3 days to the end of my suspension, while they are doing an audit and looking at my dealings in the organization. The chairman called me and said, "Vasile, come to the office immediately. I want to say, I'm not like that. I'm currently in Iwo." So I needed to be in the office. So I moved from Iwo the next day, come back to the office, and got to the office. Say, "I want you to get on back." I said, "Chairman, that will not be possible again." because I already started something. I say, in how many days? What happened? Say, I can't sit at home. I just have to do something. Say, I need you back in the office. Whatever they are doing, we'll also look at it. And I said to him, sir, I mean, in my word, I'm very, very close to you. And I think strongly that when this came up to your table, you should be able to say, you know what, while you are doing whatever you are doing, let this guy continue with his job. But you didn't defend me. And because of that, for me, let them do their audit, whatever it is. I'm here to defend whatever it is. So they should be, and they bring out their report, nothing saying negative against me. And I said, you see, there's nothing at all because I went through the process. But for me, I've already moved on. And that began my journey of entrepreneur, being, starting a business. And I did that for 1 year. Whatever I make out of it, I put it into a business, right? Into an investment, right? And in less than 1 week, 2 weeks, my almost 7 month labor becomes zero. And I'm going to share that with you guys too, that you must be able to differentiate what business is from investment. What business is from investment. Over the years, this is what we find out within family members, even within colleagues and friends. They come to you and say, you know what, they want to start up the business, and they explain what they want to do. And you end up seeing that they are not doing business. They are not ready to start business. They're actually focusing on investing. That is not business, because business takes a lot of hard work. Nobody does business for you. You do the business by yourself. But you want to start up a business, you are not going to focus on hiring an accountant, getting an HR, getting, an admin officer, or getting a salesperson, or getting a marketing person, or getting whatever it is for you to start up a business. You must be able to start up that business by yourself. Be your accountant, be your HR, be your admin, leverage your friendship, leverage on opportunities. Like they always say, you start up business with people's money. And I say to people mistakenly that when they say start up business with people's money, they're not saying direct, put your money into business. What they are saying to you is that, people's money can be actually times as a lot of things. Like for me, and this is how I define, starting up a business with people's money. If I want to start up a business that probably I need to buy rice in, let's say, Shandam in what's it called, in Plateau, and I want to sell it in Lagos. I know I need capital to get that business from Shandam and transport the rice to Lagos. And before I sell and make money. However, what about looking within my square and say, okay, where did I come from? I'm from Lagos. How many friends did I have? I have 20. Where did all of them school? Oh, one school in Fontra, one school in Jos, one school in Kano, one is in this one. What about talking to them and looking at what they know about how to bring rice from Fontra, which is in Shandam, to Lagos? Leverage on that friendship and let that friendship help me do one or two work over there and get me to the root of where the rice is coming from, and be able to talk to the person that is probably, investing there and say to you, what can you do this for me in the next 3 to 4 days? I can as well to convert this and send money back to you. Do those handwork, do those legwork by yourself. And that's what you use people to do. That's what they mean by use people's money. Either you like it or not. That my friend that is in Fontua, that is in Jos, that I call to do that legwork for me. If I have to get somebody to do that job for me, I have to pay that person. But I've been able to leverage on relationship to convert that into work and indirectly become cash for me and to get the job done. And that's how you use, people's money to start up business. They don't say start up business with people's money by looking for money up and down and be looking for raw cash. Leverage on what? Opportunity, search, knowledge, direct and indirectly, use that thing to start up. You can start up, business without not even having a dime. I remember my first company, which is Bulwarks, and which is focusing directly on, on facility management and real estate full time. And I remember when I started, for complete 2 years, I was unable to do incorporation because I was busy. When I mean busy, focusing on getting the job, but not focusing on putting that 40,000 that I'm supposed to use for incorporation, putting it into incorporation. my attention is to how can I use this 40,000 that I have at man, get more jobs, like with that job I'm going to get, convert it into good revenue and use that money that I'm going to be getting from there into incorporation, right? And from that incorporation, I can start growing and start expanding what I'm supposed to be doing. So strategically for me, you must focus and in a kind of way, understand what you want to do and what your journey is. And you can see as I'm sharing my journey, you can see that my journey is really different from everybody's story of journey of business and how business began. And that's where I started from. At a point in time, I do that for a very long time, which very hard, the facility management, relocate from Lagos to Abuja, get to Abuja, the money that I worked for as an employee for complete 6 7 months, right? I exhaust that money in less than 3 to 4 days, just putting
Wow.
up an office space. I have to go back to square one. The car that I took to Abuja to start up business, sold it off in less than another 3 weeks. Come back to Lagos with empty hand. But that does not stop me from keep on pushing and keep on going and keep on looking at what I need to do and how I need to do it. And until when I get to that stage of where my breakthrough come. And I think we are going to get at every particular point or as we go in this conversation, I'll share that part with you so that you can really see that, really starting up a business, you must have courage. You must believe in yourself. That is very, 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 very key. Yourself
Thank
and
you.
yourself alone. It's
Thank
within,
you.
it's not from out. Thank you so
Thank
much,
you
guys.
very much. I think it's a good start, and I hope we are gaining from that experience. If you are gaining anything, let me see your hand up. All right, you can see so many hands up. Now, we have so many people, especially young people, including me. I see quite sometimes I will just have this idea that will just come, on my mind. Why can't you do this and do this, and then you make money? I know it's not easy to make money that way. Now, I don't know what uh, the young people are thinking. I will give them chance now to ask questions. But you've told us different challenges that you have gone through, um, particularly when you have started. You started working with people. There were so many experiences, even they ganged up against you. And from there, that was where we just say, well, let me just take the bull by the horn and start my own business. What would you consider to be a business? Um, if I start selling rice now, is it a business? Or if I start a company, is it a business? What exactly is a business? And from then, please, if you have any question, because of time, I want you to raise your hand or virtual hand, and they would take you after this. Over to you, Prince.
For me, like I said earlier, over the years, I noticed that people often miss business from investment. Business for me, and strongly what I believe is called business. It is what you do and what you focus, least focus on what the process is from head to toe. And to a certain extent, you have a grip of control over it. It is not business is not what you give to somebody to do for you. Business is what you do, you run, and you learn so much about that. You have an in-depth of what it is or what the process is for you. And that's what is business for me. And like I said earlier, in my word, that people miss this process of business. And I'll give you key example so that we can have an idea of what I'm trying to say. Of lately, I was talking to one of my brother, and we are arguing about he wants to start up a business. And I said, what is the business? And he said to me in his word that he wanted to start an agriculture business, and he wants to start planting cassava, and he's trying to start it in the state Benue state. And so he needs some cash and to start up and all that. And I said to him, okay, So what's the process? What are you going to do? He said he has cutting somebody on the land. He's going to lease the land for how many years? He needs some thousands and some millions to do that. The guy that is going to be managing it and the people that will do the clearing of the land. And he went on, gave me the list of it. And I said to him, brother, this is not business. You actually want to invest. You are not doing business. Number one, if you want to do a business and if you want to take this as a business, you are not going to sit down in Lagos to be talking about this. Number one, you will be on ground as I'm talking to you. Day one. Number two, every process of this journey should be managed by you. You cannot get people that knows more about it to work with you, but not you giving somebody money for the land, giving somebody money for the cultivation of the land, giving money to, indirectly you are investing. You are not starting a business. 99% of what the process of that business is, you must be able to do it in case you can't get somebody to do it. 99% of what the process is for your business, you must be able to undo it, not trusting somebody to undo it. That's when you are in business. When your business become, a thing that, it has gotten to that stage whereby you know how to undo it, understand it clearly up to 70 to 90%, then you can start looking at outward, that scope and start dedicating tax. And that's when you are moving to investment part of it, moving to investment part of, business. I mean, for us, we start with Bulwarks. From Bulwarks, we move to Nigerian mechanization to Bulwarks Techs. But over the years, all right, we understand that these are businesses, and we move into what PE lift, which is, in a certain way, gave us, our breakthrough. That's taken us to almost all the whole country in Africa. Currently we are in over 6 to 7 African countries. Before the end of this year, we are planning to be in over 15 African countries, and we are not stopping at that. We are taking it back to Europe and see how we can really get this job done directly by ourselves. But we started from somewhere, not just direct. We first have a business first. From the business, we move into investment. And from that investment, that's why we now have a lot of portfolio now, because we are looking at probably how we can probably put money in other businesses and let people get the job done. But from the beginning, there was nobody. You have to do it by yourself, and you must understand what the process is by yourself. So I hope that give a clarity to what I'm
Very,
saying.
very, very, very clear. The problem with people when you talk about business is exactly the way you defined it. People will just give money. You help me do this one. You help me do that one. And the whole process, you don't even know. That's why you find people, for those of you who are listening to me, where people who have retired, businesses they don't know anything about, they will take their gratuity and go and just put in that business. And at the end of the day, the thing will just collapse. We have to understand the process. You have to be in charge of every process, 99% of everything. This is very instructive. You can see he's a young man and he's telling you his own experiences. And I want you all to please take advantage of this. He shares his views on Instagram and on Facebook. I've shared with you a link, which when I discovered it, I've started following him. I've only seen the Instagram link right there, so you can see it on the chat. And he mentioned his business, the PE lifts. I've also put a link to that. Do we have any question from any of us? If you have any question, please raise your hand. I don't seem to see any hand up yet. Did you see any hand up, Josephine? All right. Okay. Yes, thank you, Kelvin, for putting all the links to, this is great. So you can see there's a lot of links where you can learn from him on TikTok, YouTube, and I've taken time to listen to some of what he said. In fact, some of the things he says, sometimes with my age, I just wonder, where is this coming from? And well, he said God, and I believe God is helping him. Okay, so I've seen Calabar's hand up and also Yola. So we go with Calabar first, and then we go after to Yola. Calabar, over to you.
Yes.
Go ahead.
Okay, so my question, thank you, Mr. Prince. That was very beautiful. When you spoke about using people's money for business and you emphasize that no, it doesn't necessarily have to be you using their money, you just have to really leverage those relationships. You spoke about your 20 friends. I would love to know when you probably try to leverage that relationship. Did you get no's? Was it everybody that supported you in the way that you wanted support? And was there any point that maybe you realized that these 20 people would not be able to give me the support that I need? How did you handle this? At what point did you realize that, okay, maybe you need to expand your friendship circle, and how did you do all of that? Do you understand the question?
I get your question, and I really appreciate this question. This question you ask can be two ways for me: emotional, at the same time to God's at work. And when I got an invite for this, talking to the youth on what the process is to start up a business, and I was really touched that we can really share some of these things. And I'm happy that this kind of question comes up. So I'll give you clarity and what I mean by that. And I'm going to use a case study of one of our business, and the one I said is one of the most leading. That being one of the biggest revenue to us as of today. When I got an email to start up, the elevator business. I got one of my, friends from India and sent an email to me. I said, Prince, and there's a company coming to Africa and they want to do this, they want to do that. And I really want you to be our partner. I said, that's fine, I have interest. And by the time they share the budget of the total investment for me, then it's almost about around 70,000 USD. As at today's rate, that's almost about 100 and something million, right? I said, I don't have this money. But I'm still struggling with some of my businesses. Where am I going to get this money from? And the hard part of this is that the business is not going to be in Nigeria because they've already given the partnership for Nigeria to somebody else. But because he had a relationship with me and he said to me, Prince, I want you to be part of this organization that is coming into Africa. So can you take up, a partnership for Ghana? I said, Ghana? I said, that's fine. I'll try. He said, okay, we'll start. So we went on and on with different interview, with different process of what we need to do and how we need to do it. So I finished all those process and all the management of the organization, totally agree that, they need somebody around, somebody like me within their team to be their partner for the Ghana market. So I take up the challenge and, start rallying around how can we do incorporation in Ghana. I thought when I'm doing this, I have depth of salaries that have not been paid in Nigeria, right, of staffs. I have bills to pay as a family, as a family person to brothers, sisters, and a lot to do as a family that is actually there that I'm supposed to do too. So it was a really challenging thing for me. But coincidentally, I have a friend too in Ghana, that I have to actually put a call through and I say to him, oh, Mr. Hennes, this is what I want to do in Ghana. I need to do this. I need to do that. And, we talked at length and concerning with the business, and it began the process of the incorporation for me. So at the point in time we are done with the incorporation, and I'm going to take your time here so that you can as well get where I'm going to and understand sometimes this process of business and what comes with it, and how you have to, as a young guy, you have to be committed. You have to be devoted to what that process is, and believe and trust in God. Most importantly, trust in God that God is the one leading you and is the one helping you within that process. And I said to him, and I said, I'm coming to Ghana, and they did the incorporation, and I sent it to my partners in India as at there. I said to them, I've done this incorporation. What should we do next? Don't forget, mind you, while we are doing the incorporation, we've already begin marketing, strategy. We begin marketing indirectly. We are already employing sales individuals to, help us hit the market and be able to reach to the audience that we want to reach. So there are already salaries I'm supposed to pay as a partner to, and part of my role of the business. And so I reached to Mr. Ernest. Mr. Ernest said, okay, when I'm ready to come, I should come to Ghana. And I went to Ghana. And upon arrival in Ghana, my partners from India flew into Ghana to discuss about the business and how we can kickstart the business. Out of 60,000 USD to start up the business, my own share of it, because they are supposed to take 60%, I'm supposed to take 40% of the total investment. So my own part of it is around probably, I think, 25,000 USD. As at then, I'm supposed to pay for the office space and get the chairs and pay salary, get going for some few months. Right? So I got to Ghana. I said to Mr. Enes, I'm in Ghana. My hotel for the first 3 nights, you won't believe I don't even have money to pay for my hotel. I was in hotel for the first 3 nights without no money to pay for my first 3 nights. I left from Nigeria to Ghana on road, not on flight. Right, but today we can fly business class to anywhere, any part of the world without not thinking and affecting what the resources is. So I traveled on road to Ghana, spent almost a complete day in Ghana. I get to Ghana, the hotel I stayed to, I have to convince the lady and probably get to let them give me a room to stay for the next, so I can rally money and run from Nigeria to be able to pay to them. And converting it can be very, very disturbing. So later on, Mr. Ernest came through and said, "Oh, okay, so how are we going about this business? Your partners are here." And I said to him, "Mr. Ernest, to be honest with you, I don't have any money to put into this. But however, since they are ready to bring their 60%, before we spend their own 60% into what the process is, right? I'll be able to raise our own 40% into it." Say, "You know what, Prince? Okay, we can do something about it. What about me loaning you this money? And in the few months, once this business start bringing return, right, you pay me back." Trust me, before I leave Nigeria, I've searched everywhere. I've called everywhere. There's nobody I've not spoken to. My brothers, sisters, uncles, siblings, name the people I've not spoken to. Just to even borrow me money to get to Ghana, 200K, to get to Ghana first. Right? So I got completely no from over 20 people, more than 20 people, even people I'm not supposed to talk to. So no is constant, and be ready for it if you want to go into business. And even up to today, we still get no from people, but our commitment, right? Our commitment to the process is what is driving us. No is one compulsory thing. The no is just part of the process. You must stay focused that no is just one of those things that you have to learn. That's one of those no's. Those no are part of those things that you have to understand on how to start up and build a business and become whatever you want to become. So you must yes, no, as many. So I've gotten 1,000 no in Nigeria before I left Nigeria. If I told her I actually raised money to get to Ghana even through the road, but I got to Ghana, my first person to talk to, I got yes. Not just yes to borrow me 10%, not yes to borrow me 5%, but yes to do what? To take 100% and to pay for my flight to India at that time to go and finish up my documentation with the company. So you can see that really no is actually part of it, but you must take commitment, stay devoted, and believe in what you want to do and keep on going. So I will leave it at that, and as we go, we'll keep on moving from there.
Thank you
Does
very
that answer
much.
your question?
I think so. Yes, it does. Okay, let's go quickly to Zaria. Unmute yourself. Oh, Yola. Yola, go ahead. Stella.
Thank you so much for the opportunity. All right, so my question is this: how do you balance a set-up business with those that are already in this business for a long time? Like, I mean, for instance, you want to do a business and then you have limited resources, so you have to buy bit by bit. But how do you not make profit from it when you want to make it authentic and still the price is more than what the people in that environment are used to? Then trying it is kind of difficult because of the price. So how do you go such a business? Or should I give an example?
Yes, you can give us. You can give an example.
Okay, let's use a baking business for instance. You want to bake because you've seen the way they bake in that environment, and you feel like you can just more quality than that, but still you don't have enough resources. If you're going to buy a bag of flour, it will be quite cheaper and it will be easy for you to reduce the cost. But if you're going to buy like a noodle of flour, it won't be easy because whatever you're using is quite expensive and you're not really getting much quantity from it. So your price will definitely be more than the one they're used to, like other competitor.
I get your point. So I'll give an example on this. Our product, one of our products, it's vacuum lift, and the vacuum lift is actually one of the expensive, all right, part of elevator in audio world. We only have two manufacturer in audio world that does it, and in Africa, we are the only distributor to that product in Africa as a whole. All right. So if you're buying a vacuum lift of probably a floor, you'll be spending probably around 30,000 USD there about or more than. And if you're buying a normal this thing, you'll be spending less than, let's say, 20,000 USD. You can see a difference between 20 to 30,000 USD. So this is part of your brand process. You must understand your business and know what goes into your business, and that will probably determine your selling point. But over the years too, this is what we get to realize, that people even opt out for that one that is more expensive, because we focus our marketing and we focus our sales on people that we know that they can buy it, not people that know that they can buy it. Right? And we put all our energy, our marketing campaigns, is totally focused on what our target audience, not on people that can afford it, not on people that can buy it. Right? They have property, they have home, they are building, they want it, but they can afford it. So our attention is on people that we know that they can afford it. And in a kind of way, we've been able to strategize in a kind of way, really strategize and say to ourselves, we are not going to focus our attention on people that can afford us. And I'll give you, restaurants for instance. You have restaurants that we have within our vicinity that you get into some places. The same guys that you buy for 2,000, you go into other places that are selling it for 50,000. Why? Understanding what the business process is, putting value around whatever you are doing, and creating a standard in a direct way or not indirectly, creating a standard for it and stand as such. And this is my standard, and this is what goes into my product. Understand your product, know what goes into your product, and put value within it, and be able to sell it. Your focus on your audience. Somebody can sell 30. It doesn't mean that if I sell one, I'm not going to make the same profit with that person that sell 30. Like the saying in economics, it's just division of labor. The higher the price, the lower the quantity. The lower the quantity, the higher. So to understand those principles that actually guides it and stay as such, you will find a way out.
Thank you very much. We move quickly to what's it? Port Harcourt. Port Harcourt, please unmute yourself. Is Port Harcourt there? Unmute yourself, please. We can't hear you.
Please, sir, Prince.
Go ahead.
Sir.
Please sit down so that we can hear you.
Okay. Good day, sir, Prince.
Go ahead.
Right, my question goes like this. I was guessing that our organization platform where I kind of train some persons on different skills, but I haven't developed that yet. Like, it's not well known for now. So how do I develop it? How do I make it grow as a business? How do I make it? And what are the platforms in which I can register it as a
Sorry,
business?
your line is not clear. Can you just type it in so that on the chat so that we can read it out? What I can hear is that you are doing a business, but you don't know how to grow it. Is that what you're saying?
Yes, exactly.
Okay. Prince. Is Prince still there?
So can I get the question clearly? I think his network is not audible enough.
Yes, so he said he has a business. He's not that popular with that business, but he's still working on it, and people seems to getting to know him. But how does he scale it? How does he make it bigger?
In this our jet age, number one, you must be able to leverage on social media, leverage on internet, leverage on this AI world and chat GPT world, and be able to get job done. I've seen people that comes to me too and ask me, question, how do we make sales? And I mean, in the same industry. And I said to them, I mean, for some of us, we focus on, we put our resources where we believe, we can get, value and where value can come from. So number one, you need to focus more on social media, and ensure that, you are able to push your product, you push it out to the world and push your product, leverage on the relationship to your WhatsApp, you post constantly, seek for help. Do not be afraid to hear no from people. The no is part of the process. But really focusing on social media from us at PE Left, in our organization, we have target audience that we focus on, and we run campaigns to be able to meet up some of those target audience. Sometimes we spend reasonable thousands of USD at the end of the month for us to get those target audience. But before we get to that, where we can spend that kind of volume of thousands of USD for us to do campaign, right at the end of before the end of the month, we put work into it too by doing the legwork, talking to the people that we need to talk to, believing, keep on posting, believing that something will happen, and just keep on going on whatever you need to do. So you must identify first, your audience, people that you want to target. Where are they? Low class, medium class, high class, whatever it is. Then whatever resources you have to push your brand, you focus that resources on those people, that you think you need to talk to, and how you need to talk to them, and believing that it will get better. But you must, number one, be able to differentiate where are you coming from, where you want to be, and how you want to get to the where you want to be to. Who are your audience? Focus on your audience. Stay at your audience. You must. It's not a must. You reach 1 million people. If your audience is just 10,000 people, 1,000 people, or 2,000, or 100 people, stay focused on those your audience. As time goes on, they will get to adjust, and you find to get to meet them, and you meet your way out of it.
Thank you very much. So what we're going to do next, because of time, Uyo, we're going to merge you with Maiduguri. Please just go straight to point. So Uyo, please unmute yourself, and Maiduguri do the same. So we take it, bam, bam. Uyo, over to you.
Okay, my question is for it's actually in two phases. I'm sorry about this, but the first thing is, for example, a graphic designer who is into graphic designing business, and in the area where you are, the people that actually do those graphic designs do it on a cheaper rate, which is lesser than your standard, which you have put yourself. There's a standard you tell yourself you don't go do this. Okay, so since others, when they come to you, they say, this thing I'm actually asking of you, this price you're giving me is on a high side. I have people who do it twice lesser than you do this thing. And that's the complaint you always get, or maybe sometimes you get. My question here is, are you supposed to go substandard to your standard and do that job? Since if you go substandard, it keeps coming back with that same low amount, that same low price every time. If you take that price, they will come back to anytime they bring business, they will always want to leverage on that low price. So my question is, do you advise for me to collect that amount and just so I won't starve, or I should stay on my standard? Then number two is, he spoke about businesses and investment. So I was a little bit confused there when he said, like in a business, you have to be 99% into what they are doing. So for example, where I'm trying to own a transport company and I put in the money, I own the company, I buy the buses, I pick the routes that they're going to do, I pick the drivers, but I don't drive, but I own the company. Does it make it an investment or not? Thank you.
All right, thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. I think I'll start with the last one, then go into the second one. So for me, and from what you just said, transportation, I can't call it for me. You can call it a business, but for me, it's not business, it's investment. Because if you look at what goes into the principle of business and what goes into business or what goes into principle of investment, it's two different things. Right? You don't have control of what goes on there. I'm not going to put my money in transportation when I've not gotten to a certain stage in life. Transportation is not for small boys. It's for the people that understand what investment is and they are putting their money what investment is. And do not make that mistake. And I'll give a good example. Let's say you buy a small bike, a ride bike. You are not the rider, right? They sell it for you, let's say, at 500K on average, or let's say 700K, and you give it to somebody to drive for you. And the person goes and come back that, he didn't make money today. What can you do about it? You can't do anything about it. If he comes next tomorrow and say when he was going, he was drunk, there was an accident, what do? Your money is gone. Because it's not a business, it's an investment. A business, you must be able to take back almost 90% of whatever you put in when you need it. You must have a grip, a control, a grip of what goes into your business. So to me, transportation is not business, it's investment. The only person that is doing business is the person that is using the motorcycle is the owner of the bike. Yes, so he's running a business. But the day that person give it out, it has become an investment because you are trusting that person to what? To return profit to you. And investment does not return profit. What happened to you?
Okay,
That
because
money
of
is gone.
time.
So
Prince.
secondly, you talked about I want to
Standard.
yes, standard. You must be able to work for free. You don't stay to standard anyhow. You must get to a stage in life before you set standard. At this stage I still have people that they call me, there's no standard. There's no, this is who I am. I will wake up and be there. If they want me to be there at 4 a.m., I'm going to be there at 4 a.m. I work for them for free. Right? So it's not about what I get. It's not about what I'm going to get from them. It's only because, that's what it is. You must be able to work for free. You must be able to leverage and doing this job until when you get to that stage of where you can, you don't set standard when you are going. You have to be careful of that process. That standard cannot be set on your process to get to where you're supposed to be before you start setting standard. But your highs on the ground to your no and to your yes. Things that you say yes to and things that you don't say yes to, things that you say no to, things that you don't say no to. But you must, in your process, your heart must be open. And you don't have to, your eyes must not be on your profit. Your eyes has to be on, creating that brand, creating that name, that niche for yourself first. When it's not there, then you can start talking about standard. You can start talking about,
All right, Meduguri, over to you. Please make it short. Edogo is standing by.
Good afternoon, sir.
Good
Go ahead,
afternoon.
just ask a question.
So I have two questions actually to ask.
Fine.
The first question is regarding finding capital or funding for your business. I want to ask, how are the ways of leveraging on grants to start up a business? Is getting grants also as bad as using loans to start up a business? And also, secondly, my question is regarding students, because majority of those that you're speaking to are students. I also am a student. And you mentioned starting up a business will require you to be involved at least 99% or 90%. You need to be involved into the business that you're starting. Now, as students, we have school work, possibly Monday to Saturday, and you're attending lectures from morning to evening. The night time, you need to read and all this. I want to ask, as a student, how do you balance all of this, academic life and also starting a business? Or is it bad to start up a business as a student? I just want to find a balance in there. Thank you.
All right. life is a process. I hope you understand that. And as they always say, you can't eat your cake and have it at the same time. It's really a process. And my word to you in terms of that is that, you know, you have to take it slowly. The fact that you are in school and you want to start up a business, do not forget that business word is another word on its own, which in its own experience. You have to go through the process. You must learn what you need to do. So the only thing I can advise you to do is not start up the business immediately while you're in school. You need to understand the business first. So your learning process is very, very key. As after your learning process, that's when you can talk about starting up a business. You must learn, you must work under somebody. So let me give you an instance. So you want to start up a process of how to make cashew or how to sell cashew, for instance, or you want to go into cocoa, whatever it is, and you are in school. You focus more on being in school, but why being an apprentice or somebody that is doing cocoa, that you know that you can make something for, or that is doing cashew, that you know you can make something for, while you are studying and while you are learning. So whatever you are doing while you are in school, you are learning and you are at the same time to earning from your learning process. When you come out of school, it's easy for you to say, I'm done learning. Okay, and I have the knowledge here, I have the knowledge there. I can go into the world and go and start up something. But you can't be in school and want to start immediately. It's not that easy. You can't even. It's very difficult. This thing, you don't jump it. You have to go through the process, and the learning process is very, very key. You have to go through the process, be able to sacrifice, go through under, mentorship, go through under people, go through what the process is, and learning what the risks and what the challenges are. So when you come out of school, you can go into whatever you want to do and do whatever because you'll be able to gather so much experience. And if you're that very smart too, your school year is like 4 years. You've used 2 years to learn, right? And you're already out of it and you want to begin work immediately. So I strongly believe that, juggling the two can be very, very difficult, kind of way difficult, because you want to focus on this and you want to focus on this at the same time too. But me, I always advise in my own way of life that, try to get that part of school, get it studied, get it done. Focus on business. Business is not what your mind. You put all of you into it. Your thinking process, your read, everything is into what you are doing. But it's just because of where we find ourselves and the kind of country we find ourselves, whereby there's no EPA, the government is not doing more than enough, and every one of us want to do something while we are in school and be able to do. But you have to be careful within that process to trying as much as possible to finish that part, get whatever knowledge you can get, and come out into the world and focus. Let's focus on what you want to achieve.
Thank you very much. We go quickly to Enugu before we now start looking at the chat. Enugu, make it short. Don't tell us stories.
All right, sir. Okay, sir. Good morning, sir. Thank you very
morning.
much for the
Good morning.
sir. My question basically is on investment, sir. Leveraging technology and having made, quite a bit from it. So I don't want to be in the habit of turning to, just solving daily needs, as in bread, food, and everything. So what investment systems can I put this money into, such that if at all the tech part is not bringing money, I'll still have something physical I can do. So that's my question, sir.
I don't understand the question, but Prince.
I want you to come again. Can you repeat that again? Can you repeat that again?
My question is, what investment systems, or what can you give, like perhaps like 5 examples of investments that money can go into, that someone, like example, a freelancer can put, freelancer work online at remote work. So what investment systems would profit such a person is what I'm asking, sir.
Investment.
Okay, so you're talking about investment. Investment can be, for me, can be either here or there, right? You must understand what you are putting your money in the first place. Your money investment is not what it's what you give money to. and people use the money and give you the return of your money. And I hope you understand that that's what investment is. Are you there?
Yes, yes, I understand now, sir.
Yeah. So if you are investing, you must know what you want to put your, do you want to buy equity, dividend, you want to fix your money, call account, name different things that you can do with your money. These are, structural ways that you can get, you can put your money. But, some people will say indirectly too, they don't want to invest their money into that. Like I give an example of when this guy gives an issue of transportation. I say that for me, it's not business. It's an investment. So you can say you want to decide to have your money is in your account. You want to buy a bike or buy a car for somebody to use on this route and whatever it is. So these are, investment. You can have a friend that has an idea that doesn't have money. I say to him, okay, I'll put the money into this idea that you have, and we share profit and we share loss. That's investment. You are actually, your money is doing your work for you. Your money is the one doing your job for you. Your money is the one doing the talk and doing whatever you need to do for you. So these are investment, right? So I can count on and on, what you can do. But some people will buy tractors and give it out to people and let the tractors work for them and give them. I mean, for people, some of you are not, you are used to some of these things whereby people buy tractors, give the tractors out to the farmers. The farmer use the tractors and give them, return as it comes. So these are investment. They are not, your money is the one doing your job for you. So you have to look around and look at what are those investments within your vicinity and say, okay, this is where I want to put my money. This is where I'm not going to put my money.
All right, we've run out of time, but I can see HR. Yes, do you have a question or you want to make a comment? HR
Good morning.
officer.
Yes, good morning. I have a question. So, sir, I heard you mention that when you got an email to go to Ghana to start PA Lift brand, you did not even have any money. You had to go there to convince the receptionist to let you stay. So I want to ask what your drive is, because when you face such challenges in business, it's always very difficult. If you don't have the mind for it, it's always difficult to take that risk. So what
So what is
drives
the
you to take calculated risk? Because it's a risk that would have gone either good or bad. So I want to know your drive.
Okay.
But don't forget that in this case, I have nothing to lose. Right? Because I want to survive. I want to do great things in life. I want to be successful. I want to be able to give back to my community. I want to be able to, to be proud of myself before my family, friends, and whatever it is. I want to be able to create job on behalf of the government. I want to be able to do something. So number one, I have nothing. So if I don't go, or if nothing is driving me, I'm going to be at home and be sleeping, still be causing nuisance in any ways, right? So it's of no option that success it should not be driven by what you want to get, but it's by it comes from inside that I want to be successful. For some of us that follows, some of great men in life, you listen to that Oyedepo and he said, I can never be poor. I mean, at that level, saying that he can never be poor, what's driving him to say he can never be poor? Because he just believes that he can never be poor. He knows what poverty is, and he's going to give whatever it is to ensure that it's not going to be poor. So it's just one of those things, that energy of can do. I want to survive. I want to be great. I want to be somebody in life. And looking back and say, oh, how people, looking up to me, and am I going to let them down? I can't let these people down, and I need to do whatever I need to do. Take the risk, not even calculating. I don't have to calculate the risk. Take the risk and do whatever I need to do, and ensure that it gets better.
All right. Looking at the chat, I can see quite a lot of questions, but some of them have been handled. The first one says, that's from, the first one says, what prompted you into the first business? I think you have said it in your story. Was it in the area of your profession or an opportunity that showed up? I think it's an opportunity that showed up. Martin said, what advice can you give to someone who intends to go into a partnership with a friend who is already in the business, quite experienced, but couldn't carry on with the business because he got engaged with other things. So what can you give as an advice to someone who intends to go into partnership with such a friend? Would you like to handle that?
I mean, for me, one of the business I like to do mostly in life is friendship business, relationship business, because in a certain way, there's kind of trust in it until when trust is being broken, until when the trust is being shattered. And for me, like I always say to some of my team member, I can always tie loyalty to trust. Anybody I don't trust, no matter what it is, I'm not going to do a business with you. And my trust can only come from the relationship that I have with you. So for me, you just take your time, look at the business plan, look through it in and out, what goes in, what goes out, look at do your risk analysis, where you should focus on, where you should not focus on, ask the right questions and say to him, I'm seeing we're spending 89% here, 2% here, get, yourself on whatever the business plan is, and ensure that, there's clarity from your own end. And I mean, and proceed. But for me, I do many of my business. I do many of my, businesses with friendship because I believe that's comes with trust, and it gives you confidence for you to do until when the trust is being breached.
Thank you very much. You've answered the question, what's the best time to start a business as student? And then how do you handle unforeseen risk? Example, a change in government policy. And you've answered the issue of trust. So handle that one. How do you handle unforeseen risk? Example is a change in government policy. And then we'll wrap up.
Okay, how do you handle unforeseen risk? So I'll give another story too. Like I said from the beginning, I'm trying as much as possible to be able to carry everybody along and be able to not focus on the theory part, but focus on what is feasible, on this process of business life and what comes with it. So I didn't tell you the dicey part of, when we start up the business in Ghana. We start up the business in less than 6 months. The partners did not bring their money into it. They didn't bring zero money, and we are already making sales. And we are already making sales. We are already making sales, and in revenue is coming already, and they are not bringing that, and they are expecting us to be sending those money to them so they can do their part. And we are sending the money to them on a daily, on a month, so they can do manufacturing and get the job done. So at the point in time, I have to call their attention to and say to you, your 60% has not come. What's going on? We need this 60% so that we can focus on expansion. They didn't send the money. Instead of them sending the money, what they did, because they are the manufacturer, they terminated my contract immediately. And they terminated my contract, and and they said to me I should go to hell. And I was in Ghana when it happened that day. I was not even in the office. I was in my apartment just trying to catch up on some of my business in Nigeria. I just dressed up and I went to the office, fire every staff, fire them, and lock up the office. I lock up the office and write to the CAC, the incorporation of Ghana, and say to them, this is what happened, and I want to remove these people from the directors and change the ownership of the company. Because it's a partner, right? They went back and forth, they didn't agree with me. At the point in time, I showed documentation that it's only my money that was going into this business. So they agreed to take them out as a director. And I go to the bank and said, I want to have control of this my account because it was both what to sign. So I don't have access to money. Right? When they terminated the contract, both to sign. They came back after some few days, they get an injunction. Freeze all my account in Ghana. All my personal account and the company account. So I was stranded. I don't have money. I don't even have money to hire a lawyer. So back to what? Square one. Back to square one. And I have to see again, leverage on friendship, leverage on relationship. I have to rally around and call my friend, hey, and it's happened again. We need a lawyer. This was going on this. And say, what? The first money that we're supposed to pay the lawyer to write to the court and get an injunction on that account and release the account to us, almost about under 2,000 USD or about 3,000 USD. He raised the money again because he's on ground. and we begin the court process. And in less than 2 weeks, right, they lifted our ban on my account immediately. That's where we found PE Lift, because the company name was not PE Lift. So our company's name. So that's where we want to transit from the company's name to what, PE Lift, and what start up proper business, and what bring back all those staff that we fire in the first place. So, like I said, the courage, the audacity, the belief, the energy that you can get this done, and the challenges that still coming up to date. You still come, you wake up in the morning, you left something, this is how you left it, and you wake up in the morning. Everything has changed. Everything has changed. Nothing is, you have to think out of the box. Believe that nothing is going to let you down. You just have to keep on going, right? So we came out of it, and we're able to be stronger. How many years over the line, we are still in business. They left us in Ghana. In less than how many years, we were able to move from Ghana to over 6 countries, and we are going on and on. We're able to get new partners, get new businesses, and keep on going. It's the courage, the audacity, the can-do attitude. That's what, the belief that you can get to do whatever you are doing, and be hopeful to God, because He can't take away God in all of this. Whatever I do, whatever I'm doing, I always believe that it's God that is leading me, is the one pushing me, is the one telling me what to do and how I should do it within all this process. Thank you so much.
And
Sir.
on that, we have to wrap up this session. I wish we have more hours.
Sorry, sir. To finalize on that, so to give clarity to your question in terms of, how do you adapt to, changes of policy, changes of, whatever it is. There's nothing like adaptation. You cannot, because it just comes. So you just have to live in whatever it is, your structure. That's why I say a business, you must have a grip of. If you have a grip of your business, whatever policy that change, you change with the policy, and you align and have a meeting with your team and redirect on what the process is. Like I said, fire the team, call the team back, talk about what we need to do next, and redirect them on what we need to do, and not focusing on that, but telling them that we're going to send a signal to them in the next 1 year that they are going to compete with us, and we are moving as such. They can't meet us at where we are today again. So it's that belief that you have a control of what your business is, and you have an idea of what goes in and what. If I don't know, have an idea what goes and what goes out, maybe there will not be business today.
All right. Thank you very much. Can we put hands together, everyone, for this wonderful session? If you enjoyed it, put your hands together. Thank you, Prince Omoleye Okulaja. And I will encourage you all to take advantage, particularly all the social media platforms that he has shared with us. He has his views, and some of his views are not the conventional views, which I believe if you listen to those views, it can actually change a lot of our mindset. Some of us, we don't even, I don't know what is wrong with us, but I think it has to do with, for most of us, our background. He has been talking about relationship, friendship. Here you have students sitting with your colleagues. Some of us are not making friends. All we're interested in is just to bully people, make life difficult for others, show them you are better than them and all this. And you don't even know where they're going to be in the future. I was at the NYSC camp yesterday, and I saw about 9 of them seated. And they were just sitting down there, just looking. And I said to them, can I interact with you people for a moment? They said yes. I said, how many of you are from the same institution here? They said, none. I said, what an opportunity. Can't you start this friendship, this relationship thing among yourself? Now you are here and you are seated. Can't you forge a relationship that is strong? Because you don't even know where you're going to be years to come. And if you're able to build that relationship now, by the time you get out of the world there, then you can leverage on that. And if there's anything you want to take out of this, this is one major area, one major point, which I want to encourage everybody. He said he makes his money in Nigeria here, even though he has other branches in other countries. But you can also do so as a student. I also emphasize the issue of apprenticeship. Look, I believe so much in apprenticeship, and I want to encourage you, do likewise. Prince, want to thank you for this opportunity to hear you live. We'll only be hearing you from your videos, but now I can hear you live. And I hope as many as are going to watch this video from wherever you are, please enjoy this session and make sure that you apply them to your heart. With this, we want to thank you once again. Do you have any parting word before we say bye-bye to everybody?
I mean, what am I going to say, sir? That to say, most importantly, thank you for the opportunity, the platform, US in Nigeria, US this thing in Nigeria. I want to say thank you to the entire team. I mean, for giving me this opportunity. Most importantly, to give back to the youth. You know, share my experience, share my journey of life in it, and let them be able to get one or two. And that's why I try as much as possible to let you reason with me in terms of what my process. I'm not taking back my process. I'm sharing my process so you can see that, see, this is what the process is. And my advice to every one of you is just to believe in yourself. Nobody will do it for you. You will be the one to do it by yourself. Do not trash, anyone. Whatever you know is going to return value to you, don't trash it. I mean, many of us are used to trashing. Like how Daddy said, you know, he was in NYC yesterday, and people don't value relationship, and you will be shocked in terms of what the relationship can do. You have a brother, you work in an organization, you don't speak good about it, you always talk bad about them, and you want them to return value for you. You are just a joker, it's not going to return any value to you. Whatever you are expecting value from, do not trash it. And the relationship is one of those things that I don't, in any way, you can walk away, but do not trash it. If it's not healthy for you, just walk away. Believe it in a way that it's not being trashed. That each time you come back to it, it can still return reasonable value to you. And stay focused, stay blessed. Believe in yourself. Believe strongly in yourself. Whatever you think you want to do, how you want to do it, just click the start button. Start it first. Do something about it. If it's land that you want to plant maize on, whatever, clear the land first. By your hand, get your hoe, get your cutlass, go on the farm, do one plot by yourself. When you are done with the one plot, then you can start thinking of bringing tractors in, but not from day one. You're already thinking of raising money to bring tractors to come and clear this thing. What are you doing by yourself? You can do one plot. The output of the one plot, you can now use to get tractor that can help you do 10 plots. Right. And with that to support your hand to now do the planting. Don't go and get a planter because you can't afford the planter. Use your hand to do the planting for that 10 acres. When you do the harvest, then you can now expand to 20, with your tractor and with the planter. Then do not use harvester to harvest because you can't afford the harvester. Use your hand to harvest, get people to help you harvest. When you do that, you make your money from it. Then you can now plant with tractor, clear with tractor, use your planter to plant, then use your harvester to harvest because you went through the process of not just using your hand to clear first. You will use your hand to clear before you can afford tractor. When you use your tractor to clear, to clear, you cannot afford an harvester, a planter. When you are done with that, you cannot afford an harvester. You just don't move from day one and you say you want to start doing harvester indirectly, So it's a process. Stay focused and be hopeful, be prayerful, because it's not that easy to, you can't take away God in all of this. It's the beginning and the ending. Be hopeful, be prayerful, and be stay blessed and see how it goes. Journey of love. Thank you so much,
very
sir.
much.
And I
All
appreciate
right.
everybody. Yeah.
I want to say thank you, everyone. Tomorrow is another day. We have a session on a self-development workshop. And we want to encourage you, check on all our channels. You'll be able to get all the details. See you then. Bye-bye for now. Bye, everyone.